when you open your fridge, you see all those brands you know and trust. But behind those iconic logos, there's often a hidden powerhouse doing all the heavy lifting. Today, we're going to uncap the story of one of those giants.
So let me ask you something. Think about the last time you grabbed a Pepsi, maybe a 7-Up, or a Mirinda. Who do you think is actually behind that bottle? The answer seems pretty obvious, right?
Well, surprise, it probably wasn't PepsiCo. Yeah, it's a bit of a shocker. While PepsiCo owns the brand, the company that actually made, bottled, and shipped that drink to your local store is a completely different player. So let's pull back the curtain and meet this power player. We're talking about a company called Varun Beverages Limited, or as we'll call them, VBL. Now, VBL isn't just any partner. We're talking about one of PepsiCo's biggest, most important franchisees on the entire planet, second only to their US operations. They've been in the game since the 90s, and their whole job is to get those iconic Pepsi drinks into the hands of millions and millions of people. So how does a partnership like this even work? Well, it's actually this incredible, symbiotic relationship. It's really a masterclass in sticking to what you're good at. Okay, here's a super simple way to think about it. Imagine PepsiCo is the big Hollywood studio. They own the blockbuster franchise, the secret formulas, the logos, the whole brand identity. But Varun Beverages, they're the master producer. They're the ones who actually build the theaters, sell the tickets, and make sure every single seat is filled.
And that right there, that division of labor, is the secret sauce. PepsiCo is the architect. They dream up the global blueprint for the brand. But VBL is the master builder. They handle the messy, complex, on-the-ground reality of actually making the stuff, moving it around, and getting it on the shelf right in front of you.
And believe me, when we say master builder, we are not kidding around. The scale of VBL's operation is just immense. We're talking 50 production plants, a fleet of over 10,000 vehicles crisscrossing the country. And get this, they've put over 1 million of those Pepsi-branded refrigerators directly into stores. This isn't just a supply chain, it's a fortress, a physical network built for total market domination. So what does all this on-the-ground muscle translate to? Well, the numbers tell a story of just explosive growth. I mean, just look at this revenue growth. They went from 71 billion rupees back in 2019 to a projected 200 billion in 2024. That's a compound annual growth rate of almost 23%. They've nearly tripled their revenue in just 5 years. Wow. But here's the thing. It's not just about top-line sales. It's about being crazy profitable. VBL's profit has actually grown even faster than their revenue at a staggering 41.4% compounded every year. That's just incredible efficiency. And of course, when you see numbers like that, the market definitely pays attention. For investors, all this operational brilliance has turned into a 51% compound annual growth rate in the stock price. It's a massive vote of confidence in VBL's entire model. Okay, but to be fair, no company is perfect, right? We have to look at the whole picture. The pros are obvious: phenomenal profit growth, they've been paying down debt, and they deliver great returns. On the flip side, some analysts might say the stock is a bit pricey, trading at over 8 times its book value. And the founder's ownership stake has dipped a little bit recently, which is something investors always keep an eye on. So after a run like that, you have to ask, what's next? I mean, where does a company that's already so successful even go from here? You know, this quote from their chairman, Ravi Jaipuria, really tells you everything you need to know about their mindset. Even when they face short-term bumps, like bad weather hurting sales for a few months, their eyes are always on the long-term prize. They're built for resilience. So their game plan for the future? It's super clear, and it's built on 3 main pillars. First, new products. They're looking beyond drinks and using that PepsiCo partnership to get into snacks, starting with Cheetos. Second, new markets. They're making a huge push across Africa. And third, and this is really important, sustainability. They have serious goals for water, carbon, and plastics. And you can kind of see that strategy taking shape right here. Sure, fizzy drinks are still the main engine, making up 75% of the business. But their focus is clearly on diversifying. That growing slice of water and other non-carbonated drinks, plus their big new move into snacks, that's where a lot of the future growth is going to come from.
Which, it all brings us to this really fascinating final thought. VBL has absolutely mastered the incredibly complex world of making and moving beverages. Now they're taking that same powerful machine and pointing it at snacks. So you have to wonder, What industry could they dominate next?